Today we are going to talk about Ja'Quinden Jackson committing to Texas, what that means for their program, particularly at quarterback, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button, because it's... Man, did I forget my own intro? It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Man, I went blank. Yeah, I'm sure that Texas fans are going to like that because this has become your new favorite Texas channel. Whatever, fine. You're here, I'm having a good time talking about what's going on in college football. In particular, what Texas is doing, what OU is doing, and what is going on in the world of recruiting. And I'm really, really interested in Ja'Quinden Jackson for no other reason than he had offers from nearly everybody of consequence. Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma, LSU. We could continue to go on. And I liked his game since he was in the 8th grade, quite honestly. I mean, this is a 2020 quarterback prospect that, for me, is a better version of Khalil Tate. He's already 6'2". He's already 219 pounds. He passed for over 1,500 yards last year. He rushed for nearly 1,500 yards last year. In the state championship game against North Shore, he rushed for over 200 yards, man. And this dude just knows what to do with the football when it's in his hands. He could play wide receiver. He could play running back. He could play safety. He could play linebacker. He's that versatile. It's why he is classified as an athlete by 24/7 Sports. Now, that said, I think the reason that he committed to Texas is because Tim Beck told him with a straight face that he's going to have an opportunity to compete for a job at quarterback, which is not the kind of assurance that most other schools would give him. And I understand that quarterbacks who play quarterback in high school want to play quarterback in college. It was a very rare thing for those guys to come out and just be clear-eyed about it and say, hey, maybe I should just believe what this coach tells me and I should start to develop myself at another position. You could see that with Oklahoma in the 2020 class with Mikey Henderson. Mikey is a quarterback, high school. He's going to play fullback, H-back at Oklahoma, which tells you how much kids are coming to trust Lincoln Riley when he evaluates them and says, hey, I really like your game, but I like your game at this position and not the position that you are most in love with. We saw that bear out with Mark Andrews, who was not just an outside wide receiver, but an outside wide receiver who had broken state records in the state of Arizona. He gets to Oklahoma and they said, no, you don't play X, you don't play Z, you play Y. And Y at Oklahoma is tight end, which was not a sexy position until Mark Andrews made it a sexy position. He put on a lot of weight, and he basically made that position not just his own, but an All-American position and a Mackey Award winner. First one in OU history. Like, it's just ridiculous what he was able to do, and I think that's one reason why guys really do trust Lincoln Riley, Bill Bedenbaugh, and others to evaluate them. We're talking about Michael... Is that a fly? Is that a spider? I hate spiders. I hate spiders. We might need to stop. Don't come up. It's moving up the wall. It's going into the vent. Okay. All right. I think we're safe from the spiders. I don't like stuff. I don't like spiders. I don't like snakes. I'm an Eagle Scout. But you needed 20 days and nights of camping to get the camping merit badge. I got exactly 20 days and nights. It ain't coming out. I don't do spiders. I don't do snakes. I don't do any of the creepy crawly stuff. Like, I got the exterminators coming to the house and I can't with that. I was going somewhere with that take, but my point was, Lincoln Riley offers a dude at a position. It's because he thinks that guy can not just succeed at that position, but be an All-American candidate at the position. You could see that with Cody Jackson, who played quarterback. He committed to Oklahoma as the first commit in the 2021 class, where he's going to play wide receiver. And this dude has the Vince Young feet that you would expect for a Texas quarterback. And I think it would be intriguing for Ja'Quinden Jackson to not play wide receiver, to not play defensive back, to not play linebacker or running back, but to do what Mark Andrews did and play tight end. Now, I also understand that in Tom Herman's system, which is sort of basketball on grass with a little bit of flair, Andrew Beck ain't exactly going to turn into the kind of dude that people wanted to draft in the first, second, third round because of the way that they run him in the system, but it could be a really good place for him to be. But 6'2", 219 pounds, you have a lot of different things that you can do with a guy like Jaquindon Jackson. Also makes it easier for you to just depend on a guy like Hudson Card. Because now, in the age of the transfer portal, when guys are much more likely to leave, specifically at quarterback, if they don't feel like they're going to get an opportunity to play, you could just pull Jaquindon Jackson up and say, oh yeah, cool, you can play quarterback now. Now that can go either way, because you could end up with a dude that absolutely you thought could play, like Shane Buechele, and turns out to be nothing. Or another dude you absolutely thought could play, like Tyrone Swoops, who turned out to be nothing. But you get my point here. I think this strategy of taking athletes by Texas is an interesting one on the offensive side of the ball, but I don't think that it's going to work. And that's not just because, Texas is Texas and I'm an OU fan, but because I'm seeing that at Oklahoma. I saw it with Mike Stoops for 7 years. He recruited athletes and decided that he thought he could make them play where he thought they played best. And in some cases, it worked. An undersized guy like Eric Stryker turned into the kind of pass rusher that was an absolute terror on the edge, but does not project to the NFL because he's 6 feet tall and 220 pounds. You can do the math on that. Now, if you recruit guys to a position where they are comfortable, you're much more likely to get the best out of them. Unless you're Lincoln Riley or Bill Bedenbaugh and you get to say to tackles, I want you to be guards. You get to say to guards, I want you to be centers. You get to say to quarterbacks, I want you to play wide out, because they know what to do with that. I'm not sure that Tom Herman does, and I know that Tim Beck does not know what to do with that. So it's going to be interesting for me to watch Jaquindon Jackson continue to develop and what kind of player he turns into once he gets an opportunity to play at Texas. All right, that is it for me and the Spiders. Deuces.